Coming to a restaurant is about magic. Okay? It's about a memory, and that's what restaurateurs should strive for, to create that amazing memory every time you come back.
Have a conversation about restaurants in Sydney without someone dropping the name Fratelli Paradiso. 14 years young, still running the same menu and still the same ethos. We're going to sit down with Enrico and Gio, the brothers, Paradiso, and actually find out how they created such an amazing place. So when did you guys move here? When did you move to Sydney? Because you guys are originally Melbourne boys.
Yeah. So it was
2001.
2001. And when we first came down here, it's like there was like we were the only people open at night. There was a few of the breakfast joints open, but come night time it was just, you know.
So it was unorganised chaos in the beginning.
It was pretty unorganised. Everything was handwritten. The menu was handwritten, and one just was like we only had about 10 lines. We used to handwrite the list.
We'd write up breakfast and rub it off before lunch, and then write up lunch.
We had no money whatsoever when we first started. We were so dead broke, and it was just like had nothing.
What was the team?
That was it. And we basically were open 7 days a week.
We were all lucky in a sense because we weren't part of that whole sort of like new social media scene that is happening now. When we first opened, there was no Instagram, there was no Twitter, there was Facebook, but Facebook wasn't really sort of like that prominent within the restaurant scene.
Yeah.
So there was none of that sort of instant criticism, right? So before we were able to have our restaurant full, it took us 5-6 years. These days, like you open up a restaurant and bang, everybody's on, everybody's there even before you even open, and so you're expecting to do like 150 cutters that night.
4 or 5 years. So if you have someone that does your PR. What? Fuck PR? We're a fucking restaurant. Not a fucking rock star. Exactly. What's PR?
You guys are in a different generation of restaurateurs of Sydney, and now the lifespan of a restaurant is almost 3 years, and that's your lifespan.
I think that allowed us. I think that allowed us to have the foundations of longevity. I think if you're out, it's like anything. It's like when you're building something. If you don't have the right basis, it's very hard for that place or that thing to stay up and support itself for such a long time. Whether it's a kitchen, whether it's a service, whether it's wine list, whether it's menu, whether it's your attitude, whether it's your dress sense, whether it's how the waiters look, how whatever the colour of the restaurant is, you need to be able to put those foundations in place for it to last a long time. And these days, it's almost instant. You know, it's very hard.
Which is cool. Which is like,
hey, if that's the way you know, a restaurant or hospitality has gone, and that's the way it is. Man, it's more pressure on the kids that are trying to open things up these days. You know,
dishes like this, you know, you've had this on for how many years now? Close to from the beginning, right?
14
from the beginning. Every time I come in, that's on the table. It's just being finished, or it's just being put down. You know what I mean?
People walk in, first thing they do, you give them water, you give them bread, you achieve pretty much most of what people have come to do. You know, they want something to drink, they want something to eat. No one was used to that type of service, that sort of over-the-top service, and just over-servicing, you know what I mean? And you want to come into a restaurant, you just want to escape. Don't let them feel like it's a fucking privilege to walk in here. You know, it's like most people, you go to restaurants and you're so lucky to be in my fucking restaurant. Bullshit, man. I can go fucking anywhere else because, you know, you're just as good as your last fucking service, basically. And that's it.
Coming to a restaurant is about magic. It's about a memory. Any positive memory you've had, you always love to recreate that. That's what restaurateurs should strive for, to create that amazing memory every time you come back.
You always got to look for that, wow, you know?
Yeah. What's your advice to people who are looking to open a place?
You've got to be in the trenches.
Do not skimp on, don't even do things at half measures.
Don't pretend to know what you don't know.
Never worry about what anyone else is doing. Just worry about what you do within your four walls.
Enrico, Giovanni, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're hungover, noodle soups are like what to eat, man.
Like when you feel sick, you just want to eat pho and congee, and you know, like it's like nourishing. You know what I mean?